I'd like to welcome everybody to our Maqasidic Tafsir class. And this is the class where, as we are studying the volume 3 of the Maqasidic series written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. And we're focusing on the first, the 7 most lengthy chapters of the Quran. And right now we're taking a look at Islamic governance, Islamic government. And as we've been discussing, the Islamic way of governing countries is totally different than the secular way of governing a country. And as I've emphasized, our laws and our way of governing a country is for us. The non-Muslim way of governing a country is for non-Muslims. We don't go around imposing or trying to incorporate our way of government into a non-Islamic country. Okay, our laws are for us. And the last time we met, we used some examples as to how Muslim countries operate. We do not have a caliphate. There will not be a caliphate until the Mahdi comes, and that won't be until a ways from now. Okay, but even though we do not have a caliphate, each Muslim country operates using components of Islamic government, and we use examples from 3 Muslim countries. And today, what we're going to do is speak about how it would be if we did have a caliphate today, although that's not going to happen until a long time from now when the Mahdi comes. But let's look at the PowerPoint. And for those of you who are watching me and you are not on YouTube, please open up a tab on your cell phone to YouTube and go to my channel, Sunnahfollowers, and click on the live stream so you can see the PowerPoint that I'm getting ready to place up on the screen. And you can follow along with everything here. And by the way, this is the book that we're studying from. This is the book written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. And that is a picture of Dr. Karim Abuzaid. If you have not yet purchased the book, please go to Amazon and buy the book. The book is only $14.95. This is volume 3 of the Maqasidic Tafsir. It speaks about healing and governance. Okay, and tonight we're continuing with chapter 2.3. And we're going to discuss how a caliphate would benefit us today. But before we get into how it would benefit us today, we're going to have a brief quiz to discuss what we talked about using examples of 3 Muslim countries and how they have incorporated components of a caliphate into their government. So let's take a look at the quiz. There's only 2 questions. Question number 1, which Muslim country did we discuss has adopted a no-interest banking system, which has caused them to become the pioneer in a no-interest society? You know, they are excelling better than other countries in the world because they have adopted a no-interest society. Is it Malaysia? Is it Turkey? Or is it Indonesia? Which country? Or is it Saudi Arabia? Who can give us the answer?
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Okay, good job. It's Malaysia. And that's one of the great things about Malaysia. Malaysia is far advanced over many countries in the world because of their economic system. They have incorporated the no interest, the no riba system into their economic system. They have no interest-free banking. They have interest-free economics. You know, the no profit, no loss thing. And this is the people are not swimming in interest. And has made them a better country financially than others. Good job. Okay, we also spoke about another Muslim country that shows the best in regards to al-wala or allegiance, because it takes in people who are refugees and who are helpless. It takes in Muslims who are in need of help and support. Is this country Malaysia, or is it Turkey, or is it Indonesia, or is it Saudi Arabia? Which country is that?
Turkey.
Turkey.
Good job. Turkey is the correct answer. Turkey has taken in that component of what it would be like if we all lived under the laws of Islamic government, like a caliphate, you know, helping our brothers and sisters when they are in need, when they have no financial assistance, no home, no shelter, no support. Turkey is the pioneer in that. They take in homeless and refugees. Good job. So that's what we spoke about the last time we met. You know, even though we have no caliphate today, you know, we do have different Muslim countries that have adapted some components of this the caliphate that have made their country stand out over others. And today we're going to speak about what it would look like, or how the world would benefit if we did have a true caliphate, although there will not be one for a long time. So let's look at that. And again, this is chapter 2.3. We're continuing where we stopped off in chapter 2.3 of the book. Now, as the world grapples with complex issues ranging from environmental degradation to economic disparities and pressing social injustices, the principles of Khalifah offer a reservoir of ethical, social, and financial guidelines that could address these different challenges. For example, changes in environmental issues, the escalating climate change crisis. This necessitates a global response grounded in the principles of stewardship and sustainability, with this emphasis on the role of humans as caretakers of the earth. Because remember, we're supposed to be the caretakers of the earth, although that's not happening today. If there were a caliphate, this would provide a foundational ethical framework for environmental conservation. Our Islamic teachings advocate for moderation. Remember, Islam teaches moderation in everything. Moderation in the consumption and the protection of natural resources. Islam teaches all of that. And these are principles that could guide contemporary efforts towards sustainable living and environmental stewardship of this earth. And if we were to adopt policies that reflect these teachings, then the states and communities could contribute to addressing the ecological crises and could promote a balance between development and the preservation of the planet for future generations. So all of that we have today in regards to the change of environment and climate control, that's all because we don't have a caliphate on earth, okay? If we were living by the principles of Islam, we wouldn't have these type of conditions. Also, if there were a caliphate here on earth, you know, the economic quality, we would have economic equality like you see in Malaysia, and there would be better financial ethics, okay? The global economy is characterized today by insignificant inequalities regarding wealth. You see that the wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few, while there's billions of people struggling to meet their basic needs. We're having a hard time paying our rent. The rent gets higher, mortgage payments gets higher. The economic principles underpinning the Khalifa, particularly the prohibition of interest and also the obligation of zakat, this would offer a model for creating more equitable and ethical economic systems. You would take from the rich and basically give to the poor to help the people who don't have the money to be able to make it and pay their basic needs. So by advocating for profit and loss sharing models and the redistribution of wealth through mandatory and voluntary charity, the Khalifah principles could enforce policies aimed at reducing economic disparity and fostering financial inclusivity. That's what would happen if we had a Khalifah, okay? Also, if there was a Khalifah, we'd have better social justice and better human rights, because Islam advocates for that too. The principles of justice and human rights are central to the Khalifah, and they provide a robust framework for addressing social injustice and human rights issues. These principles advocate for the fair treatment of all individuals, regardless of race, religion, or social status. And they call for policies that ensure the community's welfare. Okay? In today's challenges, we have refugee crises. We have minority rights being violated. Okay? There's a need for conflict resolution. The principles of Islam could guide the development of policies that uphold human dignity and that promote social equity and seek peaceful solutions to disputes. These type of policies that Islam eschews could cause leaders and policymakers to work together for a more just and harmonious world where rights and well-being of all individuals are protected, not just certain groups or select few. So again, a Khalifa would be better than what's happening today. All people's needs would be met, not just those who are of power and social status. And not only would a Khalifa address the rights of all people in regards to justice, but also the Khalifa principles would impact the national state system too. Because Khalifa principles have had enduring relevance across numerous eras in the Islamic world and have the potential to guide ethical governance and social cohesion in contemporary contexts, because those principles are highly contributive within the framework of a modern world characterized by the nation-state system. And this comes with a lot of challenges. Nowadays, guys, we have a big problem as Muslims. If you look at the Muslim world today, since the Muslim world today is not governed by a caliphate, we have now this thing called nationalism. Nationalism has not just impacted the secular world, the non-Muslim world. Nationalism has impacted the Muslim world too. You see Muslims marching with flags too. You see Muslims chanting pride in being Egyptian, in being Somalian, in being Palestinian, instead of pride in being Muslim. We've forgotten that the flag of Islam is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. It's not a tribal flag. We've forgotten that when the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam migrated to Medina, and Allah sent down the command for the battle of Badr, the first thing that the Arabs said is, what should our standard be? Because the Arabs were very nationalistic. They were very tribal. The Prophet told them, our flag will not be nationalistic or tribal. our flag will be La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, because we are one nation. We're not separated by tribe. We're not separated by race. We're not separated by language. We're not separated by color. We're not separated that way. Our culture is one. Our culture is Islam. But unfortunately, the Muslim world now is fragmented, has become fragmented. And instead of being one ummah, we have now become a nationalistic ummah based on where you from. So that's a challenge. If we had a Khalifah, it wouldn't be that type of challenge anymore. We'd go back to one nation of La ilaha illallah. You wouldn't see us walking around with flags of Palestine. You wouldn't see us walking around with flags of Algeria. You wouldn't see us carrying flags of Egypt. You'd see just one flag, and that flag would not bear a country's name. It would bear the name of Allah and his messenger. So despite these challenges, the core principles of Khalifah offer timeless guidance that is critically relevant to addressing the issues that face today's world. And these principles advocate for a government model prioritizing ethical leadership, social justice, economic equity, and environmental stewardship. In a world that's grappling with inequality, conflict, and ecological crises, the values embedded in an Islamic leadership can inspire solutions that are not only effective, but also morally grounded.